seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First. It's a long story. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Flaumen to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Menphilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet you on the terrace at the House of Splendors. Where's Flaumen? I don't really understand the relationship between Flaumen and Menphilia. She's like her mom? She looks young. She looks really good.
We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves.
What? What do you mean you know somebody who can help with soul transference? Like, what the fuck have you been doing? What do you think we've been talking about? What?
It was forsaken in the wake of the flood,
The
but a
whole
certain new mode
you
chose to make
transferred
their home
souls
there
here.
soon after.
And you didn't think to maybe go consult this expert?
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own seems the very least we can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's your fault. You kidnapped us. Still not entirely cool with that whole process. Feel like you could have handled that better. You've spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? Man, we've been thinking about it. No good answers. White Orsite, you say? An intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there is no telling what might happen to their souls within the Orsite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. Well, that sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw ether from your surroundings. This process must be halted, and the resulting surfeit? What is that word? Of ether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving us lifeless husks, like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the Sin Eaters. Kinda like the Warriors of Darkness. This is Halric, is it? Oh, Halric. I forgot about this boy. Yes, his etheric balance leans perilously towards the light, towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light, he will become a sin eater. You don't know that. We've defeated the Wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Ulrich was completely unresponsive before, but now... Oh yeah, he's a lot better.
Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a porksy. Plump, with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, the flying pigs? Yeah.
There we are. How's that?
The hell is that? What the hell?
Well, it is certainly creative. There's no denying that.
Why would you go for a face-on portrait view of the porksy?
Yes, I'm no artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality.
It's like that SpongeBob episode where he gets the magic pencil and he draws just bad SpongeBob. We're gonna get this fucked up porksy.
Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now then, as I taught you, relax and allow your energies to flow.
With flesh of clay I bid thee rise, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
It's not that bad.
Not bad for a first attempt.
A name. All right, I've decided. Now.
Now? Now is not a good name.
Go, Angelo!
And Angelo. Hey, it's Angelo. Angelo Borchetti. If I can master this technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Gabu! Oh my boy, my heart and soul, Gabu! Gabu. Gabu. What is there even to say about Gabu? Such a beautiful little boy. And I hope he gets over the problems that he's having. His condition is uncannily similar to Halrich's, is it not? The only difference being that his soul was suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. It follows that if his soul is subject to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right?
Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What
do I think has become of your husband? I'm pretty sure I believe that it's possible that he might have wanted to think that he could have got away with fleeing. I think he's fled. All right. We're back. I've made some changes to the UI, cleaned it up a little bit, I think. Opened up a lot of the space to see what's happening on the screen. Also got some flashy new sunglasses. So we're ready to continue with this quest. The T-Rex looks great. Looks great. Fantastic looking mount. But it's real big. Unwieldy.
Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us.
That's good.
The distinction between free and bonded died with VOR3. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur.
True. Might be in too deep.
My
He needs
expertise
help.
lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation.
We need you,
Please,
Rendon.
Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people.
Oh, he's a big softy. We got him. You seem to have conducted an assessment of the problems Yulmore now faces. I assume you will agree, therefore, that the matter of dwindling food stores is the most pressing. Yes, the meal being neither a desirable nor less sustainable option. I assume alternative foodstuffs are now required to fill the void. And a man who hungers is not like to contribute much to society, save violence, perhaps. True, this guy's talking about material conditions. Master Chai told us to expect you. The emergent is already filling up with people of all persuasions, free and bonded, citizens and non-citizens. But for you, our guest of honor, we have reserved a place at the front. Right this way. You shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have. I'm probably gonna sneak out early. I got a place to be. I got some stuff to do tonight. It'll be awkward if you put me in front and I'd have to walk out. But tell me, how fared you in preparing the White Ore site? Good. Our work did not proceed quite as expected. In your absence, we had a frank discussion on the principles of soul transference and concluded at length that White Ore site was ill-suited for our purposes. But Oriange, did you not say that compared to the massy soul of an Ascian, the stone could house one of ours with ease? That I did. and armed as we are with Becklog's invaluable insight, 'twould indeed prove a trifling matter were we to disregard the inviolable link twixt mind and soul. A link which we did belatedly realize, be weakened most perilously in the process of rendering our souls dormant, as Orsight doth require. Thus the shedding of these fleshy simulacra, and the surfeit of aether which compriseth them, would in all likelihood deprive us of our psyches as well. I mean, I wouldn't have said it like that, but I could have guessed that putting ourselves into a soul cryosleep and separating ourselves from our bodies for an extended period of time would probably come with some side effects. It would theoretically be possible to channel your minds into the Orsight instead, but we would more than likely sacrifice your souls in the process, which is why we have abandoned that plan, and instead devoted our time to finding a means by which mind and soul might be transported together. Then we are no closer to a solution than we first began. Okay. So the metaphysics of this is kind of confusing. So we have a body. Or, not we, I should say, Alphino. Alphino has a body. And that body is back in the source. What we see here is a soul and a mind. What the difference between a soul and a mind is not clear, but they, too, are separate things. So a person is at least made up of three things: a body, a soul, and a mind. The body part, I think we can understand that. That's the physical relationship with the outside world, the touching piece. But this soul-mind creature that Alphino currently is here in the first seems to be able to touch things. So maybe that's not entirely it. Typically the mind, you would typically separate this into body and mind, and then call the soul like just a kind of a bad wording on the way that you're actually trying to describe mind. But that's not what's happening here, which is interesting, but needs to be more fleshed out. It is a vexing conundrum indeed, but one for which the Crystal Exarch has posited a most intriguing solution. When our discussions turned to the transference of memories in the psyche, I could not help but be reminded of a technique with which I have personal experience. Do you recall what we learned of my eyes from our encounter with Doga and Unai? No. I speak of the royal eye of the Allegan imperial line, gifted to my forebears through the blood and memories of the ancient Allegans. It is by this gift that I am able to control the Crystal Tower. If we were to gain an understanding of the technology by which the Allegans were able to accomplish this transference, perhaps then we could keep mind and soul together. Imagine, if you will, a device like unto a soul crystal, replete not only with our worldly memories, but also the bountiful energies of the soul. Okay, here we're getting an answer to the question. The soul houses the energy. I would guess in this world, the ether. It is the intangible animating force within a body. And the mind is the complex web of memories and ideas and concepts that the soul, in combination with the body, uses to come up with ideas and its own perception of the world. The soul is just a thing that floats out there and has energy. A body is just a thing that touches other things. It is the mind that allows them to be put together and cognized, understood. Okay, I think we see. That is our current avenue of investigation. We will follow it wherever so it leads. Someone's been busy making a horrible monster.
Taste my lungs!
I mean, that's badass. I wish you kind of would have just shown me that. Instead of making me play as a level 30 Dragoon. How are they doing? The mayor's reopening Daedalus Stoneworks and they're looking for laborers. There's talk of resettling some of the old abandoned villages too. They're even laying on free Talos to help anyone willing to make the move. Free Talos? We'd best get packing. Steady work, board, and lodging. If that's not a recipe for hope, I don't know what is. These townspeople get it. Material conditions. That's what matters. That's what makes people's lives better. What changes the world. Material conditions. Not your feelings. Not how you present yourself. Material conditions. You give them a good paying job. Confidence. What the fuck is happening here? A wayward warrior. Yes, so long as I yet live, I would see that feeble flame rekindled. It is my destiny to see our dream fulfilled. So that's 5.1. I enjoyed it a lot. Thought that was a very good patch, set of storylines. Kinda pissed me off having to play as a Stinian, but you know, that's what they do every once in a while. It's not the worst thing that could happen. But I will be back tomorrow, Sunday, next week, all of these things probably in varying degrees. If you would like to follow me and see what I have to do in 5.2, I welcome you to do that. Please do. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you'll join me next one, and I'll see you then.